I'm at my wit's end when I'm talking about professional wrestling, but you know what? You gotta clock in. Alright, everybody. It's Fog Wrestling. It's NXT 24th of September 2024, and we're going to break it down. And of course, this was the final USA Network show, and the ratings went downtown. I mean, it was down 8% overall compared to last week. Is this the CM Punk effect? Is this the fact that CM Punk was advertised for last week and this week it wasn't? He just made the one appearance potentially, but last week, of course, did 677,000 viewers. Now this week did 620,000 viewers. So for anyone that can do quick math, that means a 57,000 viewer decrease. And is that what CM Punk's worth at this stage of his career in 2024? I mean, maybe. Because you look at the Drew McIntyre numbers on YouTube and Punk numbers, they've dried up. It's got stale. It needs to end at Bad Blood. Honestly, the feud just went about a couple of months too long. And I get it. Punk was injured. Maybe in an ideal world, they would have wrapped it up for SummerSlam instead of having another couple of matches after it. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles at the end of the day. Meanwhile, the NXT demographic, the 18 to 49, was down 10%. And it went down to a 0.19 from last week's 0.21. So 8% in the overall viewership down, and then 10% down in the demographics. Did he show? Did he numbers? Anyway, let's look at a few clips for NXT. So there was a look back at NXT incredible moments on the USA Network. It did 68,000 views. Shitey numbers. The thumbnail is a really young Rhea Ripley with like shaven head. Just looks a bit, almost looks a bit weird seeing her. You've got Becky Lynch going face to face with her. Then we had next was Trick Williams speaking candidly with CM Punk. This only did 75,000 viewers, so again, not exactly the greatest number known to man, but it is what it is. It was just a bit. It was a very flat segment. I mean, who honestly cares? Oh, he speaks candidly. All right, Punk. Hope you don't shaft me against Ethan Page. Aye, brilliant. Up next, we had Kalani Jordan outlasting Ren Sinclair to retain her title. Brilliant. Phenomenal. That's what I'm talking about, big man. That is what I'm talking about. Doesn't get much better than that, doesn't it? No. Absolutely. Absolutely not. Obviously, sarcasm here. Can you detect it here on Fog Wrestling? Just a throwaway match that kicked off the show. They should never have brought out an NXT North Americans women's title. What are they playing at? Anyway, up next with A-Town Down Under clashing with Nathan Fraser and Xayam. This is another fucking Diddy segment. It did lead them actually later on. It got 58,000 views, so again, really, really poor. And then our full segment, and these tend to do well because I mean, why do they do well? Is it because someone's like, oh look, we're getting what they got on the actual show, and that's good and that's great and that's fantastic and all that shite. Honestly, I'm not too sure, but Roxanne Perez and Giulia colliding before CW premiere. And of course, you had Stephanie Fakir in it. Did 149,000 viewers. And you know what? That's not to be scoffed at. That's a pretty good number for NXT. You know, that's like Joe Hendry numbers. And it smokes pretty much everything on Rampage and Collision and Dynamite for that matter. So, it is what it is. 150k, can't complain. The full NXT recap got 82,000 views Well, the top 10 moments got 90, but overall, guys, a pretty bland, a pretty bleak NXT rating. Next week on the CW, I mean, the rumours are that they're expecting around 1 million. And, when you hear what they're expecting, they always seem to do less than it. So, I think it'll be intriguing if NXT starts doing mammoth numbers compared to Dynamite, where they're beating them by a couple of 100,000 every week. But honestly, I can't see it. Like, they would need to change NXT. They would need to put a few people for the main roster in NXT in an attempt to maintain it. Don't see it happening. Anyway, till next time. Peace.